Hello, my name is Zachary. Today I wanted to talk about the universe providing. And we're met with a parable that the birds of the air have their nest and the animals of the land have their burrow. But where does man have to lay his head? And we reflect upon this and we ask ourselves, are we living in alignment with the universe? Is the universe providing our needs? We can reflect upon this as receiving blessings. When we feel little blessings come our way, when things seem to be going right for us, we can ask ourselves, is this a sign I'm in the right direction? Is this a universe telling me to keep going in this direction? When we choose to consciously think about our life as a blessing, we align more with the universe and we tell the universe, send me more of this. This is what aligns with me. This is allowing me to know I am living a righteous life. When we accept the way the universe can provide for us on a daily basis, we receive more of that. We manifest more of that. We focus on the positive, and we can realize that the universe can choose to give us any blessings at any time, whenever. When we receive these blessings, gratitude for what the universe is able to do when we don't expect it. We're able to accept that this is possible, this is outside of the norm, but I accept it with grace. We can be shut off to receiving blessings when we turn people down that offer us things out of fear for them using it as a manipulation tactic or their own wants and needs. And we as humans, we all have our own objectives and obligations. We need to be more open-minded with the way the universe is interacting with us and perceive direction and insight from the universe telling us what is right and what is wrong. Now, receiving a blessing throughout the day is a wonderful feeling, and we need to know that that's how the universe always wants us to be perceived. Yet if we grew up receiving that every day, we would not feel the same gratitude for that blessing in the moment we're receiving. We would take it for granted. And really praising and building up that blessing is how we can attract more of it. And every breath is really that same blessing. We need to have gratitude for every breath we breathe, every time our heart beats, every time we have a thought. This is the true meaning of life. To praise every instant, even the good, even the bad. To be so thankful just to be alive and to be present, walking this planet, and really align ourselves with what it is the universe wants for us, wants from us. What gift or obligations in return do we need to meet? Are we holding ourselves accountable to our daily interactions with the universe, or are we feeling it's outside of our control? Like life is just life and there's nothing we can do about it. Are we really allowing our lives to be lived for us, or are we fully grasping every opportunity to change and be better, to really appreciate all of life is? When we meet the realities of our day-to-day life head on, our only requirements is to exist, is to breathe, is to keep our heart beating. These are the requirements. Our thoughts, our are free to come and go as they please. Our emotions are temporary and fleeting. We have children. It's an obligation to take care of them and protect them. And that's another topic for another day, whole nother conversation. Right now we're focused on ourselves and how we can show up in the universe as humans, as people, as accepting of the blessings that come our way. We struggle daily as humans to remember to be grateful for all the little things we have. A place to lay our heads at night. If we don't have that, we have fresh air to breathe. And if we're running low on that, hopefully we have some water. And God forbid we don't have all that. We have our thoughts. We can choose to be blessed that our heart is breathing, our heart is beating, our lungs are filled, and we can choose to broadcast positivity into the universe and be thankful, despite the limitations, despite the sufferings, despite the peril, we can unfortunately be looking at. But most of us aren't faced with instant death like that. Most of us are driving cars and working jobs and owning homes and paying bills, and even despite those things, those are blessings. If we look throughout human history, the age of life expectancy was 32 early on, and to be able to live past that is a blessing in itself. And I know not all of us have perfect health, and we can still manifest peace for people we interact with and other humans, and we can want to see the species do better. When we have that blessing from the universe, though, it's just really amazing to take the time and to praise and be thankful. And in the West here, we call it God, and we say that praise and worship is the highest sign. That singing and gratitude is the highest sign of worship. Are we not substituting the G word with the universe word and the collective consciousness word? Are we not still capable of singing and praising and being thankful, not for just the universe, but for one another, for this earth, for this planet, for this air, for this water, for this heartbeat, for this soul, for these thoughts, for these emotions? What an amazing journey. What a trip. What is there not to be thankful for? There's definitely going to be some difficulties, some obstacles. If we can remember to be thankful, that'll go a long way.